One. Recording.
ওয়েলকাম টু ব্যাক মাই চ্যানেল। আমি সুজয় আবার প্রত্যেকদিনের মতন তোমাদের কাছে একটি নতুন ভিডিও নিয়ে চলে এসেছি। আজকের ভিডিওর বিষয়বস্তু RPWD ACT 2016 পার্ট 5 পেজ 29 টু 35। এটাই লাস্ট পার্ট। অবশ্যই দৃষ্টিহীনদের জন্য আমি TTS ব্যবহার করছি, কারণ আমি নিজে একজন দৃষ্টিহীন। তাই আমি যাতে এই ভিডিওটি যদি কোনো দৃষ্টিহীন ব্যক্তি শোনে তাদের সুবিধার্থে আমি TTS ব্যবহার করছি। ওকে, ইংরেজি ভার্সন। তো এখনও যারা আমার চ্যানেল সাবস্ক্রাইব করনি অবশ্যই সাবস্ক্রাইব করে পাশে থেকো। পাশে থাকা বেল আইকন আর নোটিফিকেশনটি অল করে দিও। যখন নতুন ভিডিও আমি আপলোড করব তার নোটিফিকেশন তোমাদের কাছে পৌঁছে যায়। অবশ্যই ভিডিওটি কেমন লাগলো কমেন্ট সেকশনে জানাবে, এবং কী ধরনের ভিডিও তুমি দেখতে চাও সেটাও কমেন্ট সেকশনে জানাবে। অবশ্যই ভিডিওটি একটি লাইক করবে এবং অন্যকে দেখতে প্রচুর শেয়ার করবে। তো চলো আজকের বিষয়বস্তু শুরু করা যাক। RPWD ACT 2016 পার্ট 5 পেজ 29 টু 35 ইংলিশ।
Play.
Page 1, Sec. 1. The Gazette of India Extraordinary. 29. Explanation. For the purposes of this section, a company means any body corporate and includes a firm or other association of individuals, and B. Director, in relation to a firm, means a partner in the firm. 91. Whoever fraudulently avails or attempts to avail any benefit meant for persons with benchmark disabilities shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine which may extend to 1 lakh rupees, or with both. Punishment for fraudulently availing any benefit meant for persons with benchmark disabilities. 92. Whoever punishment for offences intentionally insults or intimidates with intent to humiliate a person with atrocities, disability in any place within public view. B. Assaults or uses force to any person with disability with intent to dishonor him or outrage the modesty of a woman with disability. C. Having the actual charge or control over a person with disability voluntarily or knowingly denies food or fluids to him or her. D. Being in a position to dominate the will of a child or woman with disability and uses that position to exploit her sexually. E. Voluntarily injures, damages or interferes with the use of any limb or sense or any supporting device of a person with disability. Performs, conducts or directs any medical procedure to be performed on a woman with disability which leads to or is likely to lead to termination of pregnancy without her express consent, except in cases where medical procedure for termination of pregnancy is done in severe cases of disability and with the opinion of a registered medical practitioner, and also with the consent of the guardian of the woman with disability. Shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 6 months but which may extend to 5 years, and with fine. 93. Whoever fails to produce any book, account or other documents, or to furnish any statement, information or particulars which, under this act or any order, or direction made or given thereunder, is duty bound to produce or furnish or to answer any question put in pursuance of the provisions of this act or of any order, or direction made or given thereunder, shall be punishable with fine which may extend to 25,000 rupees in respect of each offence, and in case of continued failure or refusal, with further fine which may extend to 1,000 rupees for each day of continued failure or refusal after the date of original order imposing punishment of fine. 94. No court shall take cognizance of an offence alleged to have been committed by an employee of the appropriate government under this chapter, except with the previous sanction of the appropriate government, or a complaint is filed by an officer authorized by it in this behalf. 95. Where an act or omission constitutes an offence punishable under this act and also under any other central or state act, then, notwithstanding anything contained in any other law for the time being in force, the offender found guilty of such offence shall be liable to punishment only under such act as provides for punishment which is greater in degree. Punishment for failure to furnish information, previous sanction of appropriate government. Alternative punishments. Page 2, 30. The Gazette of India Extraordinary. Part 2. Chapter XVI Miscellaneous. Application 96. The provisions of this Act shall be in addition to, and not in derogation of other laws provisions of any other law for the time being in force. Not barred. Protection of action taken in good faith. Power to remove difficulties. Power to amend schedule. Power of central government to make rules. 97. No suit, prosecution or other legal proceeding shall lie against the appropriate government or any officer of the appropriate government or any officer or employee of the Chief Commissioner or the State Commissioner for anything which is in good faith done or intended to be done under this Act or the rules made thereunder. 98. 1. If any difficulty arises in giving effect to the provisions of this Act, the central government may, by order, published in the Official Gazette, make such provisions or give such directions, not inconsistent with the provisions of this Act, as may appear to it to be necessary or expedient for removing the difficulty. Provided that no such order shall be made under this section after the expiry of the period of 2 years from the date of commencement of this Act. 2. Every order made under this section shall be laid as soon as may be, after it is made, before each House of Parliament. 99. 1. On the recommendations made by the appropriate government or otherwise, if the central government is satisfied that it is necessary or expedient so to do, it may, by notification, amend the schedule, and any such notification being issued, the schedule shall be deemed to have been amended accordingly. 2. Every such notification shall, as soon as possible after it is issued, shall be laid before each House of Parliament. 100. 1. The central government may, subject to the condition of previous publication, by notification, make rules for carrying out the provisions of this Act. 2. In particular, and without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing power, such rules may provide for all or any of the following matters, namely: the manner of constituting the Committee for Research on Disability under subsection 2 of section 6. B. The manner of notifying the Equal Opportunity Policy under subsection 1 of section 21. C. The form and manner of maintaining records by every establishment under subsection 1 of section 22. D. The manner of maintenance of register of complaints by grievance redressal officer under subsection 3 of section 23. E. The manner of furnishing information and return by establishment to the Special Employment Exchange under section 36. The composition of the Assessment Board under subsection 2 and manner of assessment to be made by the Assessment Board under subsection 3 of section 38. G. Rules for person with disabilities laying down the standards of accessibility under section 40. H. The manner of application for issuance of certificate of disability under subsection 1 and form of certificate of disability under subsection 2 of section 58. The allowances to be paid to nominated members of the Central Advisory Board under subsection 6 of section 61. The rules of procedure for transaction of business in the meetings of the Central Advisory Board under section 64. Page 3. Sec. 1. The Gazette of India Extraordinary. 31. K. The salaries and allowances and other conditions of services of Chief Commissioner and Commissioners under subsection 4 of section 74. 1. The salaries and allowances and conditions of services of officers and staff of the Chief Commissioner under subsection 7 of section 74. M. The composition and manner of appointment of experts in the Advisory Committee under subsection 8 of section 74. N. The form, manner and content of annual report to be prepared and submitted by the Chief Commissioner under subsection 3 of section 78. O. The procedure, manner of utilization and management of the fund under subsection 2 of section 86, and P. The form for preparation of accounts of fund under subsection 1 of section 87. 3. Every rule made under this Act shall be laid, as soon as may be after it is made, before each House of Parliament while it is in session, for a total period of 30 days which may be comprised in one session or in 2 or more successive sessions, and if, before the expiry of the session immediately following the session or the successive sessions aforesaid, both houses agree in making any modification in the rule or both houses agree that the rule should not be made, the rule shall thereafter have effect only in such modified form or be of no effect, as the case may be, so, however, that any such modification or annulment shall be without prejudice to the validity of anything previously done under that rule. 101. 1. The state government may, subject to the condition of previous publication, by notification, make rules for carrying out the provisions of this Act, not later than 6 months from the date of commencement of this Act. 2. In particular, and without prejudice to the generality of foregoing powers, such rules may provide for all or any of the following matters, namely, the manner of constituting the Committee for Research on Disability under subsection 2 of section 5. B. The manner of providing support of a limited guardian under subsection 1 of section 14. C. The form and manner of making an application for certificate of registration under subsection 1 of section 51. D. The facilities to be provided and standards to be met by institutions for grant of certificate of registration under subsection 3 of section 51. E. The validity of certificate of registration, the form of, and conditions attached to, certificate of registration under subsection 4 of section 51. The period of disposal of application for certificate of registration under subsection 7 of section 51. G. The period within which an appeal to be made under subsection 1 of section 53. H. The time and manner of appealing against the order of certifying authority under subsection 1 and manner of disposal of such appeal under subsection 2 of section 59. The allowances to be paid to nominated members of the State Advisory Board under subsection 6 of section 67. The rules of procedure for transaction of business in the meetings of the State Advisory Board under section 70. K. The composition and functions of district-level committee under section 72. Power of state government to make rules. Page 4. Repeal and savings. 32. The Gazette of India Extraordinary. Part 2. 1. Salaries, allowances and other conditions of services of the State Commissioner under subsection 3 of section 79. M. The salaries, allowances and conditions of services of officers and staff of the State Commissioner under subsection 3 of section 79. N. The composition and manner of appointment of experts in the Advisory Committee under subsection 7 of section 79. 0. The form, manner and content of annual and special reports to be prepared and submitted by the State Commissioner under subsection 3 of section 83. P. The fee or remuneration to be paid to the Special Public Prosecutor under subsection 2 of section 85. Q. The manner of constitution of State Fund for persons with disabilities under subsection 1 and the manner of utilization and management of State Fund under subsection 2 of section 88. R. The form for preparation of accounts of the State Fund for persons with disabilities under subsection 3 of section 88. 3. Every rule made by the state government under this Act shall be laid, as soon as may be after it is made, before each house of the state legislature where it consists of 2 houses, or where such state legislature consists of 1 house, before that house. 102. 1. The Persons with Disabilities Equal Opportunity Protection of Rights and Full Participation Act, 1995 is hereby repealed. 2. Notwithstanding the repeal of the said Act, anything done or any action taken under the said Act, shall be deemed to have been done or taken under the corresponding provisions of this Act. 1 of 1996. Page 5. Sec. 1. The Gazette of India Extraordinary. 33. The Schedule. See Clause ZC of Section 2. Specified disability. 1. Physical disability. A. Locomotor disability, a person's inability to execute distinctive activities associated with movement of self and objects resulting from affliction of musculoskeletal or nervous system or both, including a leprosy cured person, means a person who has been cured of leprosy but is suffering from loss of sensation in hands or feet as well as loss of sensation and paresis in the eye and eyelid but with no manifest deformity. E. Manifest deformity and paresis but having sufficient mobility in their hands and feet to enable them to engage in normal economic activity. E. Extreme physical deformity as well as advanced age which prevents him/her from undertaking any gainful occupation, and the expression leprosy cured shall construed accordingly. B. Cerebral palsy means a group of non-progressive neurological condition affecting body movements and muscle coordination, caused by damage to one or more specific areas of the brain, usually occurring before, during or shortly after birth. C. Dwarfism means a medical or genetic condition resulting in an adult height of 4 feet 10 inches 147 centimeters or less. D. Muscular dystrophy means a group of hereditary genetic muscle disease that weakens the muscles that move the human body, and persons with multiple dystrophy have incorrect and missing information in their genes, which prevents them from making the proteins they need for healthy muscles. It is characterized by progressive skeletal muscle weakness, defects in muscle proteins, and the death of muscle cells and tissue. E. Acid attack victims means a person disfigured due to violent assaults by throwing of acid or similar corrosive substance. B. Visual impairment. Blindness means a condition where a person has any of the following conditions after best correction. A total absence of sight, or E. Visual acuity less than 3/60ths or less than 10/200ths Snellen in the better eye with best possible correction, or E. Limitation of the field of vision subtending an angle of less than 10 degrees. B. Low vision means a condition where a person has any of the following conditions, namely like visual acuity not exceeding 6/18ths or less than 20/60ths up to 3/60ths or up to 10/200ths Snellen in the better eye with best possible corrections, or page 6. 34. The Gazette of India Extraordinary. Part 2. E. Limitation of the field of vision subtending an angle of less than 40 degrees up to 10 degrees. C. Hearing impairment. A deaf means persons having 70 dB hearing loss in speech frequencies in both ears. B. Hard of hearing means person having 60 dB to 70 dB hearing loss in speech frequencies in both ears. D. Speech and language disability means a permanent disability arising out of conditions such as laryngectomy or aphasia affecting one or more components of speech and language due to organic or neurological causes. 2. Intellectual disability, a condition characterized by significant limitation both in intellectual functioning, reasoning, learning, problem-solving, and in adaptive behavior which covers a range of everyday, social and practical skills, including specific learning disabilities means a heterogeneous group of conditions wherein there is a deficit in processing language, spoken or written, that may manifest itself as a difficulty to comprehend, speak, read, write, spell, or to do mathematical calculations, and includes such conditions as perceptual disabilities, dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia, and developmental aphasia. B. Autism spectrum disorder means a neurodevelopmental condition typically appearing in the first 3 years of life that significantly affects a person's ability to communicate, understand relationships and relate to others, and is frequently associated with unusual or stereotypical rituals or behaviors. 3. Mental behavior. Mental illness means a substantial disorder of thinking, mood, perception, orientation or memory that grossly impairs judgment, behavior, capacity to recognize reality or ability to meet the ordinary demands of life, but does not include retardation, which is a condition of arrested or incomplete development of mind of a person, specially characterized by subnormality of intelligence. 4. Disability caused due to chronic neurological conditions, such as multiple sclerosis means an inflammatory, nervous system disease in which the myelin sheaths around the axons of nerve cells of the brain and spinal cord are damaged, leading to demyelination and affecting the ability of nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord to communicate with each other. Parkinson's disease means a progressive disease of the nervous system marked by tremor, muscular rigidity, and slow, imprecise movement, chiefly affecting middle-aged and elderly people, associated with degeneration of the basal ganglia of the brain and a deficiency of the neurotransmitter dopamine. B. Blood disorder. Hemophilia means an inheritable disease, usually affecting only male but transmitted by women to their male children, characterized by loss or impairment of the normal clotting ability of blood so that a minor wound may result in fatal bleeding. E. Thalassemia means a group of inherited disorders characterized by reduced or absent amounts of hemoglobin. E. Sickle cell disease means a hemolytic disorder characterized by chronic anemia, painful events, and various complications due to associated. Page 7. Sec. 1. The Gazette of India Extraordinary. 35. Tissue and organ damage. Hemolytic refers to the destruction of the cell membrane of red blood cells resulting in the release of hemoglobin. 5. Multiple disabilities. More than one of the above specified disabilities, including deafblindness, which means a condition in which a person may have combination of hearing and visual impairments causing severe communication, developmental, and educational problems. 6. Any other category as may be notified by the central government. Dr. G. Narayana Rao, Secretary to the Government of India. Uploaded by the General Manager, Government of India Press, Minto Road, New Delhi 110002. And published by the Controller of Publications, Delhi 110054. GMGIPMRND 4011 GIS 3, the 28th of December 2016.
Alert. No.
এতক্ষণ আমাদেরকে সময় দেওয়ার জন্য আপনাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। দয়া করে ভিডিওটি অনেকে শেয়ার করবেন এবং প্রচুর ভালো লাগলে অবশ্যই আপনি চ্যানেলটি থাকা প্রত্যেকটি ভিডিও দেখবেন। আমাদের বিশ্বাস আপনার ভালো লাগবে। থ্যাংক ইউ ফর ওয়াচিং। আসছি নেক্সট ভিডিওতে, ততক্ষণ ধন্যবাদ।